today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Racial approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed-rate loans. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. Additional conditions or exclusions may apply.
At CarMax, when we say we buy all the cars, we mean it. Over the last 20 years, we've purchased millions of cars from coast to coast. In the last year alone, we've bought a mountain of Mercurys, an armada of Nissans, a ton of Titans, an ocean of Pacificas, and a sea of Siennas. Not to mention a few Hellcats and a couple of Tornadoes. So no matter what you're selling, CarMax is buying. And we'll buy your car even if you don't buy ours. CarMax. We buy all the cars.
The 911 call of Demi Lovato's apparent drug overdose has been released, and correspondent Jim Roop reports the audio includes what some categorize as an odd request.
Paramedic operator 65, what's the address of the emergency?
It was 11:22 a.m. Tuesday. The caller, who we're told is an assistant, not giving much information from the portions of the call we received, even apparently requesting the whole thing be done quietly.
You should be hearing the sirens real soon.
No sirens, please, right?
No. This is a medical emergency. I don't have control over that.
We're told drug paraphernalia was found, and Lovato was allegedly given Narcan, the drug used to reverse the effects of heroin. Meanwhile, Lovato is recovering at an L.A. area hospital. Jim Roop, Los Angeles.
The Department of Agriculture's Food Safety and Inspection Service issued a public health alert today for foods containing whey powder. It's used and regulated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration to modify texture and thicken foods. I'm Mike Moss.
These days, there's enough to stress about. Do I eat enough kale? Do I eat too much kale? What's the best way to sell my car?
What would you do with extra money every month? Pay off your debt, save for retirement, travel, or upgrade your lifestyle? If you're ready to see your paychecks do more for you, start budgeting with Every Dollar. Every Dollar is a free budget app that is helping people find money they didn't know they had. People are saving thousands. If piles of paper and complicated spreadsheets come to mind when you think about budgeting, you're not alone. Thankfully, Every Dollar has taken the headache out of budgeting and made it something people actually enjoy. In less than 10 minutes, you can create your first budget. No calculator or spreadsheet needed. Even better, with the Every Dollar mobile app, your budget is always with you, making it easy to update your budget and track your spending while on the go. It's your money and your life. Get more out of both with an Every Dollar budget. Create your free budget today at everydollar.com. That's everydollar.com.
Hey Dave, let's tune into the Simply Senior radio show on KTalk this Saturday. It's at 2 p.m. and it actually sounds really interesting, and maybe we can learn something.
I love you, Barb, but I think I'll pass. Besides, it sounds more like geezer radio. I bet it's all about soft foods and spray-on hair. How old do you think I am?
Okay, Dave, let me ask you in a different way. Do you want to listen to a radio show for people who are smarter, wiser, and have more life experiences than everyone else? Yes or no?
On second thought, I'm in.
If you want to join us for the Simply Senior radio show, tune into KTalk at 1640 a.m. every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. See you there, slugger.
The Simply Senior radio show is a radio program for those people who are a little bit smarter, a little bit wiser, and have a ton more experience than anyone else.
Good afternoon, Salt Lake City and the entire world. You're listening to Shane and Scott here on Prepper Talk Radio on this, what is today, the 5th of October.
You know, it's kind of fun when the system is down, we're still up. This is Prepper Talk Radio. We're broadcasting live. That was a recording intro, but we are broadcasting live from the Utah Gun Exchange. And you'd think we'd be surrounded by really cool paraphernalia of guns, but I got some paraphernalia. It's all online because it's a gun exchange. It's an online service. And so I look around and I see computers and I see clocks and I see dry erase boards.
But I don't see any firearms.
and I see show hosts from our previous hour and producers, but I don't see any firearms. Oh, and there's Kristen Perry, our station manager, calling me back.
You want to take that?
I'll take that while you start our intro.
I will take over. Yeah, so thanks for joining us here on Prepper Talk Radio. Since I didn't get my turn to do this, that our recording did it, I'm going to go ahead and do that again. We've got Scott and Shane here as usual on this Friday. We missed you the past couple weeks as the station is in transition, and still in transition as we're in a temporary location here for now, as Scott said, at Utah Gun Exchange. So go check out utahgunexchange.com. And I actually have a couple of listings on there right now, which I'm not going to plug, but I do use Utah Gun Exchange on a regular basis, and I highly recommend it. It works very well, and it's nice and slick. And we will actually have a guest in our second hour. We're going to be on for 2 hours today.
Yes, it's the double duty.
Did you figure it out with Kristen there?
Yes, she's actually on her way, so this will be fun. We'll all get to have Kristen on the air with us for just a few minutes.
Okay, cool. So in our second hour, we're going to have, I believe it's Zane with Utah Gun Exchange on us for a couple of segments. We're going to talk about...
we're going to call it Firearms Friday.
That works for me. I was going to say we're going to kind of talk survival weapons, you know?
Well, right.
That's what we do. We talk about...
we're Prepper Talk Radio. Survival, off-grid, homesteading, prepping. What
Radio
other type of gun do you need other than survival-related guns?
Well, the word need is an interesting word.
I replaced want with need a long time ago, Shane. You should know that.
I need to show you what I need to show you what I have in my bag here. I have... and let's get into that in the second hour. We'll get into that in the second hour.
Yeah. So stay with us, guys. Stay with us. We got a 2-hour show. It's going to be fun.
You know how we like to talk guns.
We do.
Maybe we do it a little bit too much. But
I don't know. I think we talk more financial crash than guns. Crass. Did I say crass?
You did say crass.
Must be cuss words when we talk finance.
Oh, you're so crass.
But today is going to be better because we're going to go more of the... Yeah, keep that off. You got to learn to keep that off.
I was just listening.
We're going to go more of
what's going on there.
Housing crisis that's about to burst upon us.
Yeah, I guess we first want to say, of course, join us on Facebook.
Yes.
We try and do stuff there. We just get wrapped up in our daily lives, and we don't get a lot posted there to Facebook. But
that's where we are, though.
That's where we are primarily.
You can find us there.
We do need to find some other alternative, as the future is uncertain when it comes to social media and how it's going to affect us preppers and such.
Exactly. Well, I think today's a great day to be talking about preparedness. It's our rotating weekend coming up, which we'll get into that a little bit later. But I wanted to give a shout out to our good friends over at Emergency Essentials.
Absolutely.
Big sale going on.
That's right. I was there yesterday. Of course, I got the mailer. And if you're, of course, outside of Utah, you may not get that mailer, but they do have a large online presence at beprepared.com.
And you can get the mailer anywhere in the U.S. if you sign up for the mailer.
But I believe the sale is mostly, well, I'll say mostly, is a lot of scratch and dents. So you can go get number 10. I got number 10 cans of pancake mix for $5.
Holy crap.
So some really good deals over there.
Holy pancakes.
Yeah. And... I was really quite surprised. I went over there, tried to get there early. It was starting yesterday early. I want to get there early. I did not expect that there would be so many people there at the Orem location. It was...
dude.
It was...
You've been living in Utah how long?
No, but I just did not expect this.
This is your life. And I'm the transplant. And I could have told you that when there's a deal, there's a line out the door.
Right.
Like, Black Friday or not... Like, the culture here is dash for the deal.
If it's on sale, then people will be there.
Yeah, especially big, huge discounts.
And so, of course, I made it a point to talk to a bunch of people there, because that's what I like to do.
What'd you find out?
And what I found out is most of the people were there buying stuff for other people.
Really?
Yeah. And, I mean, that's
like
really kind of what I was...
grandkids, or what do you mean?
Yeah, for, like, grandkids, yeah. I talked to an older couple who were getting stuff for their grandkids for Christmas.
Nice.
I talked to I won't say middle-aged woman, who was buying stuff for her sister.
Oh.
Single mother,
That's very nice.
Maybe on hard times, I don't know the story, but single mother and who just is not able to prepare for herself. And I talked to another couple as well. Said, yeah, we're getting stuff here for some of our sons and their their grandkids. And so that was kind of the theme that I felt while I was there, and that was one of the reasons I was there. Kind of doing some early Christmas shopping, get some ideas.
That's kind of a big shift from what we're used to. Like, this is the haves getting for the have-nots. And society-wise, like, if you listen to the mainstream media, it's the haves taking from the have-nots.
That's correct.
And this is kind of awesome to hear this, that the haves are giving to the have-nots for a change. And there's more that's going on in the world than you realize and that we talk about. But I think we need to point that out, because that's the whole purpose of why we do the show, is to help those of you who are listening, those of you who are preparing, be able to help other people in the time of crisis.
And that's why you started PrepperCon as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's we'd like to, of course, we think about ourselves first. We need to get ourselves prepared, ready, right? You think of the analogy being on the airplane, when if the oxygen mask were to drop, you put your mask on first before you help someone else with their mask on, right?
Exactly.
And so it's the same, I guess, the same thing. You've got to get yourself to at least a reasonable level of preparedness, and then your thoughts should be turned. And I think they do naturally. If you're, I don't want to slander anyone. If you're a true prepper, right?
Right.
If you really have the mindset of a prepper, of course you think about yourself. Oh, I need this. We need this. The family needs this. We got to be prepared appropriately, and that tends to grow, and you see the need, see what's happening in the world. Oh, I need this. I need that.
Yes.
But once you get to a certain level, you're starting to think about others. And just like we've talked many times over the years, we talk about community, and that's about PrepperCon, helping others get prepared, but also helping others also strengthens us, because it can take the load off of us.
Well, it's funny. It's like my journey with my family, my immediate family. I grew up doing this. It was just kind of part of how it was, and I kind of took it to a whole other level. From my grandparents to my parents to me, it's like I took it in a different direction, and they were always like, okay, just do this so that you can survive hard times. And I'm like, okay, do this to survive big, nasty disaster times.
Right.
And
not just everyday stuff.
Took it to PrepperCon, but like in that process, when I got married, my wife, and you guys that have been listening for a while have heard this before, it's like my wife's like, oh, good, you're prepared, yay. And then she really sees how prepared I am. She's like, oh, my. And she went through her change. Level, and all of a sudden, she's better prepared than I am, because she's like the master planner, right? She spreadsheets everything. She gets everything organized, labeled. Like, I had what I had, and I rotated it, and I went through it. She's made it, like, amazing.
And we're going to get to that in the final segment of our second hour. Right?
Well, no, I was just saying, like, she's taken it from just us to, okay, now that we're prepared, now let's help other people.
Yep.
And she's actually the one that inspired me to move along the path of creating PrepperCon, launching PrepperCon, and then eventually selling it off to my partners to let them try to continue what we created.
And I think it really does take a lot of planning and organization to get to the point where okay, I know that I'm good for X amount of time.
Yes.
I have this many calories, I have this many servings, however you keep track. We have this much water, it's going to last us this long. We have this many water filters that'll last us so many gallons, those types of things. So it does take quite a bit of planning, as well as just keeping track of where you're at.
Practice. Keep working with what you have to see if it works or not.
And like I was saying, in the final segment of the final hour, we're going to talk about rotating.
Yes. Seasonal rotating.
Rotating things.
We'll especially break down as to, okay, what does that really mean? But we don't want to jump the gun.
Yep.
Here at Utah Gun Exchange, we don't want to jump the gun too fast. So while you're at it, guys, make sure you go to beprepared.com, check out Emergency Essentials, check out all the sweet deals.
If you're along the Wasatch Front, stop by one of the stores. I think you'd be amazed at how much stuff they can cram into a small store like that.
Yeah.
And the deals are really amazing. And I think because of where we're at, and what we're going to talk about next, we're going to talk about where we think we're at next, financially and so forth. People are really, I think they're really starting to see these things. And when a sale comes on, they see that opportunity. Because where else are you going to put your money, honestly? Where else are you going to put it?
I think the things that are actually going to help are the things that are the most value. I've got a lot of financial planners that shake their heads at me because they're like, well, why aren't you putting more money in the stocks? I'm like, why am I not putting more money in the toilet?
Kidding?
It's the same thing.
Exactly.
I'm investing in things that are long-term value, that are going to hold their value or keep me alive. And the stock certificate's not going to keep me alive, especially considering, what's the stat that you and I were talking about before the show is like, what, 80% of all IPOs right now?
Yeah, one of the many factors that if you're watching, you're looking and seeing what's going on out there, the one thing, and we'll try to talk about as many as we can, that jumps out, that should stand out and should be a sore thumb is that, I think it's 86% of all new IPOs that are coming out right now, 86% of them have never made any profit. are not making
they're debt driven, and their
Mhm.
their IPO